All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we have got a market watch lined up. That's right, it is November 1st, so we're going to be doing our first market watch of November. If you are new to the channel, guys, on the 1st and 15th of every month, we're going to be doing a market watch video just to kind of track how the market's moving a little bit and check how the new releases are looking and things like that, okay? Let's go ahead and dive straight into the video. There's not too much to talk about. I will have everything timestamped down in the general description below if you just want to hop to a certain point in the video. And I will have all relevant deck lists and links down in the comment section below. And I say deck lists because at the end of the video, we will be checking out. Let me go ahead and bring up a little spoiler here. We will be checking this game out at the end of the video. It'll be a quick game of Purple Black King versus Purple Kaido. A little bit of fun for the end there. Okay. All right. So real quick, before we dive into this, I'm going to try my best to hop back and forth between the U.S. market and the EU market. I do have card market up here on the side, but most of the tabs up here, as you can see, are TCG player. But what I think I'm going to really try to focus on doing is blasting through this real quick, doing a few price checks for the more expensive cards, and then last but not least, we're going to head over to LimitlessTCG, and we're going to check out the cost of decks. And on here, they have the cost of, like, let me just click on Lucci real quick. On here, they have the cost of both cards if we have to check for both the U.S. market and the EU market. So someone did recommend that in the last Market Watch video we did, and thank you so much to whoever did that. I can't remember their name, but big shout out to them for pointing that out, because that will help us find, you know, that's like the easiest, fastest way to be doing this. Okay, so now let's go ahead and dive into this. First things first, we do have to talk about the starter decks. The starter decks came out literally a week ago at the time you're recording this for us over here in the West. And guys, the prices are still a little bit outrageous. One thing I would recommend doing, so notice right here, it looks like, oh, only 12 bucks. That's pretty good. It's not accurate. I mean, it's accurate, but look how it's accurate. Like, let me just click on this Udo deck real quick. So this is like what you can buy for the, if you scroll down, notice this is for just the, and this one actually looks open. Let me put my glasses on real quick. Yeah, this one actually looks opened. So really make sure you're clicking on these to see what's going on. In other words, oh, this is only a this deck is only $12.35. That's not bad. But notice it does not come with the premium pack. Okay, guys, so make sure you're really looking at that very closely, okay? A lot of the cheaper ones, you should probably just assume that there's going to be no PRB 01 pack involved or included. Really keep a close eye on that. Now, some people might be thinking like, okay, who cares? All I want are the cards. If that's the case, this is probably still not the best way to go for what we're doing. Because let me just, let's go back real quick. Let me show you guys one more little shortcut. Say you just want to play the new Doflamingo deck, right? Instead of having to pay $17 for a already, you know, without the PRB pack, $16 to $17 without the PRB pack, one thing you might want to look into doing is buying the singles. So hear me out. Let's see what that looks like real quick. Excuse me. So every single, how do I say this? All of the new starter decks, 15 through 20 that just came out, they only have, I think, about 4 cards. It probably depends on the deck. But in this case, for Doflamingo, there's only 4 cards you really have to worry about if you're like a current, someone who's been playing for a while. Now, if you're a new player, you might want to go ahead and grab the entire starter deck. I think it will be your best bet. But let's do some math real quick. So check this out, guys. So if you were to buy these 2 starter decks just straight up with no PRB pack, PRB pack included, look at this, guys. It's going to be about $18 on average, maybe even up to $20, and you need 2 of them for the full play sets of the really strong cards you're going to want. Well, that would be over $30, right? So if you got it for 18 here, that's going to be and remember, guys, this one, like, oh look, this one's only 15, right? No, this one has $5 shipping. So if you were to buy 2 from this guy, it would be $30 plus the $5 shipping plus taxes. So it ended up being around $40-something. But check this out. Like, okay, let's just look for the cards we need, right? So we would need, if you already have all the cards previously, like you have everything but the new starter deck. Well, let's just get the cards we might need. So like, let's look up Boa Hancock first. Check this out, guys. If you want to buy 4 Boas, that's gonna. I did bust out the calculator for this one. Let's just do. So this guy's got 33. Whoever this person is here, they have 33. So if you and they have free shipping for orders over $5. Okay. Real quick, I better say this up front here. I will have a link down in the comments section that has my affiliate you know, it's an affiliate link. And if you do plan on buying cards, I'd really appreciate if you click that first and then just do everything like normal. You don't have to click anything else special that I'm aware of, but that would really help me out, guys, for people who are picking up singles and stuff like that, or buying in bulk or whatever you're doing. Now, real quick, if you were to buy this as like just buy the full play sets of the cards you primarily need, so let's just do the math real quick. So $298 times 4, we need 4 of this card. That's $12. Don't worry, that's like the really expensive one. And then this next one, Trafalgar Law. Trafalgar Law. Okay, so where is he? I know I probably skipped up. Oh, here he is right here. So here's the other one we need. And it looks like this is the same person as we were just looking at for the shipping over free shipping over $5 purchase with the, you know, and they have 32 of this card as well. So let's do, so $11.92. I'm just going to round to 12 so it's easier, guys. So 2.74 times 4 plus the, so I'm just going to do 11 plus 12, right? So let's just do 11 plus 12 just to keep it here so I don't forget. I know it's 23, but we'll keep it here so we don't forget it. So that's $23 roughly. And then tax for just those 2 major cards we need with the Boa Hancock and the Trafalgar Law. Then, if you move over, there's a few other cards, like say you want the Marshall D. Teach. Marshall D. Teach. That card's going to be super cheap because that is a card that comes as a 4 of per box. Okay, we're just going to add $1 for Marshall D. Teach, so plus $1. And then it's probably going to be $1 more for the Buggies. Let's look up Buggy real quick. Whoops, almost typed in Buffy. That's not the same. Okay, so here's Buggy coming up here. Here's the one we need. And this one looks like it's $1. Whoops, just waiting for it to load in. This one, we're just going to say $1.50 each. So we'll do $1.50 times 4. That's $6. So plus the $6, and there you go. So this would end up being $30 to buy just the cards straight instead of having to spend $40 on a double ST18 pack. So that's one thing I would do the math on whatever you need. So if you need Dofi, this is how I would do it. Just make sure you just try to get the best deal for yourself. That's really all I'm trying to say. And I think this would be the best way to go if you already have the other cards. Like if you still need the other cards like that come in the pack, like Doflamingo, because I believe this comes with the new Doflamingo, doesn't it? This card, but look at this. The price went way down on this card. This is from, yeah, this is from Starter Deck 17, it says. I don't know. All I'm going to say is do the math, guys, and for the especially for the newer players. But if you're an older player, you already have if you already have your Jinbeis, you already have your Weevils, you already have everything except what comes in ST18, I would look up individual prices and go about it that way. Okay, that's just, again, that's just the best advice I can give on this this situation. Now, real quick, we're going to go back to the beginning here. I just want to go back to the starter decks. Sorry, guys, we got to go. I'm just hitting back. Okay, here we go. So all of them are pretty much overpriced right now, guys, especially if you're trying to buy a straight-up box with like an actual starter deck with the PRB 01 pack in it. That's the prices you see at the bottom here. Like, look at this, $23, $22. That's starter deck 14. Okay, where's the next one? $27 for 17, about $24 for 15, and about $20 for the yellow one, ST20. So again, you're gonna have to do a little bit of math. If you're a player who's been playing for a while, I think your best bet is probably just to buy singles, buy individuals of the cards that come in that box, if you already have everything else. But if you're a newer player, I probably would go ahead and snag. Like let's just click on where did Dofi go? Here we go. I probably would just snag one of these already opened ones that don't have the PRV pack in them. Yes, it is a little pricey, but here's the thing. Like this person, again, I don't know who any of these people are, guys. Whenever I show these, I have no idea who the sellers are. But like right here, okay, you can end up buying 2 of them. The shipping's included for $20 each. So boom, $40, and you have what you need. And that's 2 starter decks, and you'll have all the cards you need inside there to basically get started on the game. You'll probably need to buy a few other things like Jinbei and Weevil. We'll talk about that in a minute. But that's really not a bad starting price if you think about it. Okay, so that's it for the starter decks. I don't really want to go too much further into that for over here. We'll at least look. Here's the seal product. Let's click on this and just see how it looks over in Europe. I have no idea what we're about to get into here. Okay, this is all the early starter decks. Let's go. Let's just click on Doflamingo. We're just going to, yeah, and that's going to be the most expensive one. Let's just see how it looks over in Europe just to get an idea. Okay, we're looking for ones in English. About 20 euros. That doesn't sound that bad, to be honest, guys. Like, that really doesn't seem that bad. And I know it's like the most expensive we've seen for just a 50-card starter deck, not with like a triple leader, setup. But This deck, guys, it is like an absolute top deck in the format, right? It's one of the strongest decks in the format. And real quick, this even has a warning, a disclaimer up here. Sealed products can only be sold if it is sealed in its original packaging. So notice there's no really cheap ones on here, because I believe, if I'm understanding this correctly, they can't open their packs and just sell the individual deck instead of the PRB pack as well. I like that. I wish a TCG player would adopt the same strategy there. But it is what it is. It happens. But either way, whatever the case is, this looks really good. This looks really solid here. Okay, now let me go back to card market real quick so that way we can move from here. So we went over the starter decks. Let's go ahead and hop over to the Two Legends OP08, what we're on currently in the West. All of the prices, we're not going to spend much time on this. I don't think I'm going to cross-reference it with card market. These are just insanely good prices, guys. These are the most expensive cards in the entire OP08 card pool. Like, not all of the cards in the game, just what came out in OP08. These are the most expensive, most used cards at their lowest rarity. And guys, when the most expensive one is $4 here, $3, $3.28, excuse me, about $5 for the new Nami. That's about it. Now, the only other card that is more expensive is actually Rayleigh. I don't quite understand this. Guys, sometimes with the secret rarities, I think they're just selling what they can get away with. Because, guys, we're going to look at this in a minute. Excuse me, let me go back to Limitless and go to decks here. Let's just look at the top, 15 decks in the game right now. Lucci is not running Silver's Rayleigh. Black Yellow Luffy, no. Laws is banned. Bonnie, no. Nami, no. Luffy, no. None of these. Okay, just go straight down the list. Zoro, no. And go all the way down the list. And the only ones that might be running it is maybe Red Purple Luffy. I don't even see Red Purple Luffy on here right now, guys, because it's not being played pretty much at all right now in OP08.5. Marco will be running it, okay, to be fair, but that's not exactly a top-tier contending deck. Marco will be running Silver's Rayleigh, at least I think most decks will for it. Maybe Sabo, and then Red Purple Luffy might run a few copies of it, and then Shanks will be running it. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Shanks will probably be a top-tier deck, but that still, in my mind, does not quite justify the $20 a card for this card. And hey, this is my guy. For those who might be new to the channel, Silver's Rayleigh is my favorite character in One Piece. So this card, the art looks incredible. I like the standard art better than I like the alt arts in the manga. But that's just me. That's just a personal preference thing. But whatever the case is, at the end of the day, I think they have way, way, way overpriced this card, and I think it will slowly dip down over time. At least I'm hoping it will, because we're going to look at some cards in a minute here, guys. Like Ace has gone down to $14, $15, and I think this card is, well, I don't know. I guess this one was only really played in NL, and NL has not been seeing a ton of play lately. But I think it might see some more play soon here, guys. I've seen some ranking stuff from the ranked sim, but who knows? Anyway, back to Silver's Rayleigh. I think this card's great, but I do expect it to kind of go down a little bit. I could be wrong. I have no idea. This one is really an enigma to me personally, because when you go back to the other, look at the other secret rare in the set. The other secret rare is Kaido and Linlin, and I understand this is a very gimmicky card. It's going for $2 though. So in other words, that's how much more people are buying up the Silver's Rayleigh card, the Silver's Rayleigh secret rare versus the Kaido and Linlin. They're the exact same rarity, so they have the exact same amount of cards in rotation, but this one is 8 times more expensive. Or something. I just did quick math. I don't know what the actual number is. But, oh well. Actually, it's probably about 10 times more expensive, right? Because if this one's about $2 and this one's about $20, it's about 10 times more expensive. Crazy. Anyway, keep an eye on Silver's Rayleigh. I personally will not be buying them at this price, or I'm going to try not to. And here's my thing. I think I'll only be running 2 or 3 of them in whatever deck I'm playing. But I guess that also depends on what you're planning on playing. Okay, all right, now let's move on. Okay, I had 2 Silver's Rayleigh taps. Okay, Kid and Killer has gone down in price. Oh, let me check real quick. Every card over 10 US dollars, I do want to check the price over on Card Market. So let's see how Silver's Rayleigh is looking. Silver's Rayleigh, there's a bunch of different versions. Oh, probably for the altars. I was going to say, what is all that? Yeah, same for you guys over there in Europe. Look at this, 20 euros. It's actually a little more expensive, I think, over in Europe. Or maybe about the same, probably roughly the same. But maybe a little more expensive. I don't know why. And look at the trend here, guys. It's going up and up and up and up and up and up. It just keeps going up in price. So now might be the time to snag them while they're still around the $20 mark or €20 mark. That's going to come down to your decision and how much you actually want to play this card and whatever color you play. Like if you're playing red, now might be the time to snag it. But for me personally, even though I play red, like red, yellow, Sabo, this card I might play as a 1 or 2 of. So I might snag 1 or 2 of these eventually, or try to trade for them. I think I have 2 of the 5-cost black Sabos. I'll probably try to do a 1-for-1 trade. If someone has 2 Rayleighs sitting around, I'll just do a straight-up trade with them. But something along those lines is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I would hold out on this card personally, unless you absolutely need them. Of course, guys, if you ever need a card, you need to do that. Like, buy what you need, okay? It's your money. It's your choice. But I personally will be trying to wait on that card. Now, Kid and Killer, this card has gone way down in price. This is down to $2.35. This card was up in like the $5 range. And remember, guys, this is not an SR. This is not a secret. It's not an SR. This is a rare. This is just a rare card. The only card that even comes close to that is, let me try and find it, Charlotte Flampe. This one's still $5, and this one peaked up to almost $10 for a rare. But this is from EB01, presents its own problems. You guys know how that goes. But Kid and Killer, very affordable right now. If you don't have your playset of Kid and Killers right now, this is probably like a really solid time to snag those. Marco at $8. Guys, look, it goes up to 15, dropped down to about $3 to $4. Now it's up to $8. That's a little bit concerning. I might snag these now if you need them. But I think a lot of people probably bought them right around here. Like, look at this, guys. 100 items sold, 84, 112, 87. Yeah, a lot of them sold recently. But I would probably, if you don't have your playset, this is an OP03 SR. And did this come out? I'm going to bring it up on the side here. I want to see if this came out in PRB01. Okay, I'm just going to type in Marco, PRB01. No, it looks like it's not. It looks like only the 4-cost Marco got reprinted in PRB01. So this card right here, guys, I'd probably snag it while it's still under $10, because if a deck emerges where you actually need this card in the future, we don't know when, or I just tried to combine when and if. We don't know when or if this is ever going to be reprinted. So I would probably try to snag these. We will check this out over on the EU card market as well. So this is OP03 Marco. Here it is at the top. Looks like it's going to be about €250. Okay, I clicked on it. Is it not going? I must have missed it a little bit. Actually, that's for the Japanese price. Just kidding, guys. So for the first English price, around €4 to €5. €4 to €5. I would definitely snag that if I was in Europe right now. Unless the market has inflated. I'll bring that up on the side real quick. €5 to USD is, yeah, about 5.44. It looks like our currency is very, very similar currently. So I would snag these for sure if I was over in Europe, if you need these cards currently. If you don't need it, of course, why would you buy it? But that's kind of what I'm going off of. Okay, so there's Marco. Edward Newgate. This one's gone down in price because I believe this one was reprinted. Yeah, about $3. $3 to $5 it looks like. $3 down here at the low. Let's go to the second page. $3, $4, $5. I would 100% snag these right now, guys. I have to always say this. I know, it's like beating a dead horse at this point, but guys, when it comes to prices, if there is an SR, like when the rarity, so that's the rarity on the card for any of the newer players. Notice right here it says rarity SR, and it has like this fancy looking border. If there is an SR for under $5, I'm snagging it so fast. Like if I need it, I won't even think about it. I won't even have to think about it twice. I'm just going to snag it if it's under $5, because I feel like that's a good enough value for the rarity of the card, especially, like I said, if it's something I actually need. With secret rarities, when they have the gold border, so notice the SRs have the silver rarity because they're the second most rare, base card in the game, whereas the gold border is the most rare. And we're not talking about alt arts and mangas. We're not talking about that. We're talking about base rarity cards. The gold border like this, if there is a card under $10, okay, if there is a silvers, like for example, if there is a secret rare under $10 USD, I'm buying it instantly. Just snap buy decision. I'm not going to think twice about it because of the rarity of the card and the price. I do think it justifies a price under that just to easily buy it. Had to get that out of the way early in today's video. Okay, so like I said, with Newgate, I'd snag these now. I will check this one real quick as well over in over in the East, or over, excuse me, over in Europe. This is OP02 Newgate version 1. Okay, yeah, so right under €4. I would snag that. Is it euros or euro, guys? If I'm trying to say that, it's like is it under, so I'm trying to say it's under €4, under €5. Can I say it with an S on the end, or is euro plural? Because I think someone got onto me for that as well. Oh, well, we're learning, guys. We're learning together. Okay, let's move on over to Ace. Ace is doing fine. This card's still right around $5 USD, and it's been going up to 6, down to 4, up to 5, down to 4, and just it fluctuates between there. I think this card's going to sit around that price for now. And if you look at what was reprinted in PRB 01, let's see if Ace was. I don't think this one was. Well, excuse me, it was in the manga form. The manga version of the card was reprinted, but it does not look like the other version was. The standard version that we're looking at right here, I don't believe this was reprinted. Someone help me out if I missed anything on these. But hey, I would snag this card for around this price. Same thing as the Newgate. I would use the same justification of like, okay, this card, this came out all the way back in OP02, just like Newgate that we were just looking at. This card came out all the way back in OP02, and they've already done a round of reprints for PRB 01, and it was not in there. So, excuse me, well Newgate was. Hang on a second. Newgate was in the reprints, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he absolutely was. And there's a new alt art for this card. So this card will probably stay under $5. But I don't think there was one for Ace. Like, let me just type in Portgoss one more time. Portgoss. I'm over on my second. Yeah, guys, I don't see it in there. So this card I would definitely snag while it's under $10. I think I'd pick this up now if you still need it. Okay, let's keep going. Eustace, Captain Kidd. We're over to the green cards now, guys. I try to do these in order. First we did red. Well, excuse me. First we did the starter decks, then OP08, then red. Now we're on green. Then we'll go blue, purple, black, yellow. You know, exactly in order, going clockwise around the little hexagon, the color hexagon. Guys, Eustace Kidd has gone way, way, way down in price. Okay, way down. It's down to $4 or $5 for a card. Absolutely snag these. Watch out for the Japanese versions, guys. Always watch out for that when you're trying to buy these. Make sure you're buying the correct version. You don't want to buy a Japanese one if you're over in the West, unless you're just trying to collect those for, you know, for collectors' sake, or however you say that. Okay, let's keep going. So I would definitely snag the Eustace Kidds. Right now, guys, we're not going to check in the West, or excuse me, over in Europe. Very cheap. Okay, Nami. This card's been going up in price, guys. This card is up to $9 again. Okay, let's go out a year. I want to show you guys like how things have moved with this card. Before the reprints, well, excuse me, not reprints, but, well, yeah, kind of reprints, but not the PRB reprints, like actual set reprints. This card was up to $40. Then there were, they reprinted some of the earlier sets. This one's from OP02, and it went way down in price. It kept dropping, and now it's kind of sat around the $6 to $7 mark for a while, but now it looks like it is going back up. So if you have not gotten your play set of this OP2, excuse me, OP02 SR, I would snag it. I wouldn't wait for it to go up in price. You can, technically, who knows, maybe they reprint it in the future. I have no idea. But if you don't have this card and you need it, this card has been way more expensive in the past, and I would probably snag it now if you need it. Especially if you plan on playing Uda. Like back to the starter decks we were looking at. Excuse me, guys. If you're planning on playing green Uda, ST16, I would absolutely snag this. And guys, I think I called it ST18 earlier. Doflamingo is ST17. The purple one is ST18. So my apologies if I messed that up. Okay, here we go. Let's keep going. Over to Doflamingo. This card went really high for a second there. It was like up to the $5 range. Like, look at this. Like, it kind of sat at like the $3 to $4 range for a while. Then it started peaking up in the $5 and $6 range. But now it's all the way back down to $1, down to $2. Because this one will be, let me just check real quick. This one will be reprinted in PRB. In the PRB 01 set. Yep, and it has a cool alt art coming as well. Very good. Okay, now over to the blue cards. Not a whole lot to talk about from green, except we did miss a card. Let's go ahead and grab Cavendish. I totally forgot about Cavendish. How could I? EB01. What can I say? Literally all I can say is EB01. This is an SR that's going for $16 a pop right now, guys. It jumped up to $21 back in September, early September, and then it fell as low as $14 in October, and it is going back up to $16, $17 range. If you don't have your play set, I would try to snag these while you still can, because we don't know anything about... Guys, let me just show you something real quick. This is another card from EB01 that is the exact same rarity, but this card does show up probably in twice as many decks as Cavendish. So I'm not saying that Cavendish will ever hit this price. I have no idea, but in my mind, I'd be preparing for like, okay, if I don't have this card already, I need to snag these before they hit some crazy number like this. Not ideal, but it is what it is. But yeah, this card right here, I think this, I've talked about pseudo playsets before in the past. That's why, like when I was saying with Rayleigh, like I only need 2 of this card, and then I have my playset. It's like a pseudo playset because I don't need 4. When it comes to Cavendish, I think 3 is like literally the perfect number for this card. And I know everyone wants to always argue with me, like, no, 4 is the perfect number. Okay, that's fine. If that's the perfect number for you, you should run it. But for me personally, 3 of this card, especially with this price tag, then I feel really good about my 3 number instead of 4. But really good stuff here. And guys, I have my full playset now. I forgot to mention, real quick, thank you to everybody who wished me a happy birthday on the, you know, it was 2 days ago. It was on October 30th. Thank you to everybody who wished me a happy birthday. So many, you know, all the birthday wishes and all that. I really, really appreciate it. So many people did. I couldn't believe it. And, you know, for my birthday, my mom, you know, she'll like randomly, she's probably listening now. Hi, Mom, if you're listening. But she knew that I needed Cavendishes. She looked around town and found one at a local store and got me the 3 Cavendishes I didn't have for my birthday. So it was like the perfect birthday gift. My mom always comes in clutch with the one-piece birthday gifts ever since I started playing the game. So big shout out to Mom for that one, right? But anyway, I already have my 4 of Cavendish. But here's the thing. I think like a perfect play set for this card, because remember, guys, you can only have 1 on the field at a time. You can't have multiple Cavendishes on the field. I would just slam down my 1, and then if it gets removed, you don't... Typically speaking, you don't have time to slam down another one. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. But other times you probably won't. Where it's like, okay, well then just that card's gone. Now we're moving up to our 7 Dawn play, which might be like a 6-cost Basil Hawkins with 1 Dawn active. So just something I would consider, guys. It all depends on the tempo and the deck you're playing, the leader you're playing, and all that. But I think 3 of this card's pretty solid for like a pseudo play set, like I was saying. And yeah, this card at $16, seeing how... like, guys, put it in perspective. Kid and Killer was $5 for a while, and Charlotte Flampe was like almost $10 for a rare. So the fact that Cavendish is $16, I don't get it. I'm not happy about it, but I would probably snag these while they are around this price point, because I just, unless Bandai says they're going to reprint these cards, hey, you know, the game's still growing, and if they're not going to reprint these cards, it could be ugly. We'll have to see. I'm not saying they're not going to reprint them, but we don't know if they will or not. Okay, now let's move on to the blue cards. So Edward Weevil. Oh, let's catch up real quick over in the East. Let me check out Cavendish, and I want to check out Nami. Did I misspell that? I must have misspelled that. Cavendish. Okay, EB01 Cavendish. Oh yeah, I would definitely, guys, if you're over in Europe at the 10 euro mark here, I would absolutely snag these Cavendish while they're still at this price point. Because like you guys can see, and I know some people say like, oh, because stuff's way more expensive in America or in the West or whatever, or like in, you know, what? Yeah, I guess America. This thing's 16 USD. Let me tell you what the equivalent is. So for 1620, hang on. My number lock's not on. 1620 US dollars right now. It's the equivalent of 1489 euro. So you never know. You never know how things are going to go, guys. So I would snag these if you're in Europe and it's at this 9 to 10 euro price point. I just wouldn't take the chance. I know it's more expensive than we want cards to be. 100%, guys. I wish every card was under $10 without a doubt. Other than alt arts, that's different. But realistically speaking here, like practically, I would snag these now. Now, real quick, I want to see how Nami is over. Whoops, how Nami is OP02 Nami over in the in Europe. Oh wow. Okay, so that's not bad. So €3 is really not that bad. I would snag these as well. If you do not have these and you're trying to play Green Uda or any type of green film variant, snag these right away. €3, guys. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, moving on. Now we can finally get into blue. I said that like twice, then had to backtrack, but we're there now. Okay, first up is Edward Weevil here. This card, look at it, guys. Look at the graph here. I just want you guys to see something. If you don't have your Edward Weevils, I would snag them. Number 1, guess what this is? Oh, is this an EB01 rare? Yes, it is. Yes, this is an EB01 rare. So seeing this card at around the $3 mark, I'm just not surprised anymore, guys. I didn't understand it at first. I guess it had to do with a limited print run. I'm not happy with it, but hey, I would definitely snag these Edward Weevils right now if you don't already have them. Who knows? It might go down in the future. We'll have to see what happens, but I would snag these immediately if you do not already have these. Oh, look at this, guys. I was just wrong. It's $5. That was just the first one. It was a Japanese card. Yeah, these are like $6. These are like €6, or excuse me, $6 right now, guys. We'll check the euros on it real quick because I am going to check Jinbei as well. Let's do Edward Weevil, and this is EB01. This one, yeah, okay, under €2 for a lot of these, and these are English versions. So I would definitely check those out, or I would definitely snag those if you don't already have those, because they're like basically more than double that price right now over here in the U.S. Yeah. Snag these immediately. They're $5 EB01 rares. And guys, if you don't think that's going to stay, let me just introduce you to this card named Flampe. Now, it has gone down in price, to be fair, but look for how long this card, like, okay, way in the beginning when there were 1,000 items of it sold, it was in the $2 to $3 range, which I thought was absurd for a rare back then. But look at this. It climbed and climbed and climbed up to $4, dipped down to $3.50 for a while, and then straight up to $7, down to $5, up to $7, and now it has kind of been at this $4 mark for a while. So $5 for the Edward Weevils. I wouldn't take my chances. I'd probably just snag those now. Okay, next up is Jinbei. This card, insane how much this card went up in price. Look at this, guys. Let's go back 6 months. Okay, when the card first came out, it was an OP07. Okay, don't worry about the what's it called, the pre-sale price. But watch, as soon as it went down, okay, $2, absolutely. I snagged mine right around the $2.50 mark. I think I got all mine for $10, like, you know, 4 altogether for $10. Up to $3.71, and look at this. It's slowly been climbing and climbing and climbing, and now it's up to $12. It is hard for me to say to buy this right now. I don't know if that's going to come down to you personally, but I am not happy with $12 for a Jinbei. If you plan on maining Doflamingo and you're new to the game, yes, this card is actually completely 100% required. Now, it is only $12 for an SR. We have seen worse with cards. Like in the past, we've seen worse with SR. I mean, even now, we're seeing worse with SRs with like Cavendish, Brook. Hiyori used to be up there. I think Hiyori's gone down in price. A few cards used to be, and even Gecko Mori, I believe, was like $17 or $18. So I do think that this card is worth snagging at $12, but I don't know if it's going to go up or down, so I don't want to say like, oh yeah, definitely get this before it gets too high. I don't know if it's going to stay at around the $12 range, go down, or go up. It's really hard to tell with this card, guys. Buy at your own discretion, 100%. Let's check Jinbei over here in Europe. Whoops, I accidentally hit enter. Yeah, okay, under €7, guys, and this is the English version of the card. Snag it. Man, I'd snag that so fast if you don't have yours already, because judging by looking at the trend, that's interesting. So over in Europe, it looks like it has stayed right around the €8 mark for quite some time. Like October 8th, is that what, October 8th and October 3rd? Yeah, it peaked up to almost €10 for a little bit there, about about 2 weeks ago. And then now it has kind of stabilized around 7, but I would definitely snag this. I don't foresee this card going down in price, guys. If you don't already have yours, I would snag this immediately. Okay, so that was Jinbei. Let's go ahead and move over to Sanji. So Sanji peaked way up to $14, $15 for a while there. Guys, this is a secret rare under $10. This gets the thumbs up. Buy it immediately if you're interested in this card. I think buying a secret rare for under $10 is absolutely worth the value for how rare the card is, because you never know, guys. You literally never know when something like this is going to happen, when a Katakuri is going to be printed, and then all of a sudden everyone's running it. Okay, speaking of Katakuri, you can cheat out a Katakuri with the Sanji if you're running something like Blue, Yellow, Queen, if you can set your top cards. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with Sanji. Very powerful secret rare. It's still under $10. And a lot of decks might be able to play just like 2 or 3 of this card. They might not need to run 4. Some decks might want to run 4, but some decks might want to only run like 2 or 3. It seems like a good card, guys. I'd snag them now if you still need them. Because notice this trend, guys. Like, let me go out 6 months. Okay, way early when it was first released, okay, it was like up in the $40 range, and then it sat around 20 bucks for a while, but it stabilized at 15, then dropped down to 6, and now it went up to 15 again, and now it's going to stay probably around this $9 to $10 mark. I'd probably try to snag them now, just in case. You never know what they're going to print that might make this card just insane or broken. Okay, now moving on to purple, we will check Sanji over in Europe. Okay, Sanji, that was the OP07 Sanji, the secret rare, right? No, that's not it. It's the OP06 Sanji secret rare 119. Okay, yeah, about the same price, 720, 8 euros. I think that's probably fine. I think that's worth grabbing as well over there. Okay, so there's Sanji. Moving over to purple. Oh gosh, guys. Oh gosh. 45, 50 for a cardigan. Get out of here. Guys, there is no way I'd recommend someone buying a card for over $40, $45 in that mark. I'll say over 50. Do what you want to with your money. If you need this card and you think you can win a tournament with it, like coming up soon, do what you have to do. But personally, so I draw a limit. I got to rant for a little bit. Let me get up on my soapbox here. Like I said, when it comes to SRs, I'm going to buy it under $5, immediately snap decision. Secret rares, I'm going to buy under $10, immediately snap decision. I will not buy a card, and not talking about alt arts, by the way. We're talking about the lowest rarity possible, or the lowest printing possible, however you'd say that. I'm not buying a card for over $50. It's not going to happen. I will trade for something over $50 because it's like card for card value. But I'm not going to take a $50 bill out of my back pocket and give it to someone else for a piece of cardboard worth nothing. You know, unless I sell it back for that. Because you never know when these cards are going to go up in price. For example, we already talked about Eustace Kidd, right? My rule is I will not buy a card for over, I think $40 is where I draw the line, but if I really need a card, I'd probably spend up to $50. And like I said, that card would have to be super rare, limited printing, and I think I'm going to win a tournament with it soon. And not talking about alt arts. Alt arts are totally different. I bought this card right here for $30 a card, and I said, okay, this might bite me in the butt, later on, but I'm gonna bite the bullet here, and I'm just gonna snag the card when it's still $30, just in case it gets up to this price point where it's up in the $40, $50 range. I don't know if this card will be reprinted. I don't know. I don't work at Bandai. I have no insider information. I don't know any inside source that can tell me cool tidbits of information of upcoming sets and upcoming reprints. I have none of that. So this card has jumped up in price because did we not just talk about EB01? Look at Cavendish. This is a SR, $16 a card. We already looked at, we kind of got a sneak peek at Brook. $30 for an SR. Is it even surprising that the only secret rare, I believe this was the only secret rare in EB01, $45. Now, one thing I will say, and I'll bring it up on the side here, I just want to make sure, just in case, I do believe they have announced PRB02, EB02. Okay, so never mind, it's not the same. They have announced EB02. That will come out in April of 2025. However, that's not the same thing. Remember, guys, the PRB set, it was the premium best cards from the first few sets of One Piece, or I think it was like the first 5 or 6 sets of One Piece. So who knows if they're ever going to reprint these EB01 cards. It's one of those nightmare situations where it's like, hopefully they will. Bandai has proven that they've been pretty good about that, like reprinting cards, but those were for starter deck cards and One Piece, normal set cards. I don't know if they have any plans of excuse me, I'm just stuttering everywhere right now, guys. I don't know if they have any plans of reprinting the EB cards or things like that. So I understand why this price is the way it is, but I really hope Bandai plans on reprinting these. That's all I'm going to say. Let me see how much it is over there in Europe. Let me type in Bond and see if it comes up with it. Here it is. Nice. Oh, yeah. I would snag these so fast. Again, I don't know how the market is going to go, but seeing how things are for us over here in America, excuse me, and how things were with EB01, I would snag these now for that, probably under, if it's under 30 euros, I'd probably snag it now. If you don't have if you don't have the means, the financial means to do it, I wouldn't feel bad about it. I would literally just run a 4-cost Basil Hawkins in the place of it for now, which is a 4-cost, like 2K, trigger, play the card, 1K counter, Animal Kingdom Pirates, and on play Rampadon. It's not the same. I'm not saying it's as good, but it's at least something budget that can fit the place of this for now until the price hopefully fluctuates, or excuse me, goes down and stabilizes lower. Hopefully reprints come out and stuff like that. Okay, we're moving on, guys. I'm sorry. I know I wasn't very helpful with that one. We just got to keep going. I don't have anything nice to say about this card. I cannot stand when I see cards go over $30. Like, anytime a card goes over $30, red flags are going up my head. You know, emergency, you know, call Bandai, you know, immediately get the task force out on this. This card's got to go down in price. So hopefully Bandai hops on that immediately. Okay, Queen. This card was reprinted in the PRB 01 starter. It's going way down in price. Look at this, guys. It is tanking in price. I would not buy this for over $5 currently over here in the West. Over here in the West, because PRB 01 is going to drop the price so much. Excuse me. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, I did forget to bring up Sanji. We are gonna click on this real quick to check it out. Sanji has been sitting around this $3 to $5 mark for a while. I think hitting this card for any of these under $5 USD. Hey, it's an SR, guys, so I'm auto going to buy it anyway under $5. But this is a very useful card, and if you're planning on playing a lot of purple Straw Hats in the future, snagging them for the $5 to $6 mark, I don't think it's out of the question. I don't think it's ridiculous or anything, because this is a very high utility card. It's very strong. It's a blocker. It's a 2K counter, and it can do all kind of crazy tricks. Okay. All right, next up, we're going into the black cards. We have Gecko Moria here sitting around $6. This card was reprinted in the PRB set, and it has, look at this, guys, it has absolute, you know, fallen off a cliff down here. It's down to the $6 mark. You love to see that. Hopefully this one can actually go down to the $5 mark. I think it might be able to stabilize right around the $5 mark when the PRB sets are officially released, which will be, when does it come? I think it's like November 8th. Or something like that. Yeah, November 8th is when it technically comes out for us over here in the West. So not this week, but next week, PRB 01 will come out. And I cannot wait to see how that Dawn goes with the prices. Okay, guys? Because there's a few Dawn that I did want to snag. There's a few different kinds of those new Dawn cards I did want to snag from the PRB 01 set. We'll have to see what happens there. Okay, I guess we'll cross-reference this one real quick with Card Market. Whoops. Gecko Moria. I believe it was OP06. Yep, I think this one's it. Oh, yeah, guys, absolutely. Snag this immediately if you're in Europe. If it's under $3, yeah, this is the English version, making sure it's not Japanese version. I would buy without a single ounce of without a single bit of hesitation. Okay, back to Brook. Okay, since we're already on Europe, let's see how Brook is for you guys. EB01 Brook, here it is. Yeah. It's still a little pricey over there, but it's literally it's less than half the price for you guys over there. I just wouldn't take my chances. I would use I understand everything in America can be more expensive. Like, I understand that. Where'd it go? Here it is. But I would not take the chance when you never know. What if the card becomes just as expensive everywhere? You just never know. I would snag those for the 11 or 12 euros that they cost over in Europe currently. Just going off the trends that we can see in America. Because I think our prices are actually pretty similar with a lot of stuff, but every now and then one of the cards in America is just like way more expensive for some reason. I have no idea why. But hey, it is what it is. EB01 so far in the West, well, excuse me, I have to be more specific because apparently it's not doing too bad in Europe. It's still rough in Europe, but it's not too bad. But over in the US, EB01 was a disaster. If they would do reprints of this set, I think that would be excellent. I think that'd be really good. Or if they try to reprint some of these cards that are super expensive right now. Okay, Sabo looks like he's been going down a little bit, and this was not reprinted, guys. This card has not been reprinted in PRB01. It just kind of went down a little bit in price. Because if you go out 6 months, this thing jumped up to like $35 at one point, guys. Look at this. Between the $21 and $50 mark, this card sold 350 times. So we're talking an average price of $35 over a 4-day period. From August, excuse me, a 6-day period, August 5th to 11th. So that could technically be 7 days, right? Because 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because if you count the actual days they're on, it could be 11 days. Whatever the case is, this card it was out of control, but it looks like it has gone down a little bit. I'm not sure why, but hey, sometimes the market just does that. The market has a mind of its own sometimes. So not too bad, but I'd really like to see this go down in price. And that's where I do have to do a little miniature rant, another one. It would be really nice if Bandai could announce PRB 02, have it come out in like August next year. Have it be a while away. I mean, it is what it is, right? Because, they do have like a schedule they release on. It'd be nice if they could speed it up or put in like a promo pack or something like for going to tournaments. But, it's rare they actually do that with cards that I think that are at this caliber. But anyway, it would be nice if they could put a PRB 02 announcement out saying, okay, we're going to be having new cards in there, or reprints of old, really good cards like Sabo and like Brook and like Cavendish and all these cards that are way too expensive for their price point. And hey, how's about the one we were just looking at? Where'd he go? Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. Like, yes, please. Yes, let's get those prices down. But I don't know if they will. I don't know, but it's pretty expensive right now. Is it the same in Europe? Sabo from OP04. Yeah, I mean, it's not far off. It's a little bit cheaper in Europe, but it's not far off. And yeah, these are the English versions. Okay. Yeah. Keep an eye on that one, guys. I would keep an eye on Sabo. This one right here, I would absolutely keep an eye on this. I think the main reason this card is so expensive, number one, it is a very good card, but in most decks, this card was only ran as like a 2 or 3 of. I think very few decks were running this as a 4 of. But in Black Yellow Luffy, it is an absolute 4 of, because it's just literally pivotal to what the deck does. You're recycling them so much into life, from the trash into life, onto the board, and just it's crazy. So it probably had something to do with that, but who knows. Okay, on to the yellow cards. Ace has dipped way down in price, guys. This card went way down in price. It was up to around $30 for a while, like not counting pre-release prices. It was down to like 35, 30, dipped down to 20, the 22 range, up to back up to 30. Then it was in the 20 range again, and now it's starting to dip into the teens, right? So 16, 15, 14, 13. We'll take that. I'm very happy with that, because I would love for secret rares to kind of average around $10. I would love for that to be the case, but that's just not how it always works out. So really good stuff there. Is it the same over in Europe? Let's take a look. OP08. I think no, it wasn't 8. I clicked on the wrong one. Whoopsies. All right, Portgoss. It was OP07. Yeah, 119. That should be it. Okay. Yeah, about the same. Actually, it looks like for once, hang on, am I looking at this correctly? Here he is. Hey, it looks like it might be a little bit cheaper in the U.S. for once. Okay, we got a card that's actually cheaper in the U.S., as rare as that is. Good stuff. Okay, let's keep going. Flampe, this one's around $5. I've already ranted about this. We're not going to spend much time on this one. Charlotte Linlin is up to $10 again. This card just keeps going up and down. People can't make up their mind on it. But guys, this is an OP03 SR. So you guys know how I was complaining about... where is Marco? So, well, excuse me, this is OP03 as well. But Newgate and Ace, these are OP02 SRs, right? And I think Eustace he's OP01, but he got a reprint. Let me see if Linlin got a reprint. I can't think off the top of my head if it did or not. Y'all give me just a moment. Speaking of, it did not. I think probably because it had the SP as well. But one thing I think they should have done, or again, if they come out with a PRB 02, that'd be really nice. It'd be nice if they could reprint this card and the next card we're looking at, Charlotte Linlin, from the 7 cost from ST07. These cards are just too expensive, I feel like, for what they're doing. I feel like they're just a little too expensive, or they're getting to that point. Because remember, guys, when they start going up in price, they don't always just go down. It depends on how the market, it depends on how things go in the market. But I think it's getting to the point now where the game is growing at such a rate. Some of these older cards, like from OP01, OP02, OP03, and OP04 from the first year of the game, those are becoming very rare, guys, because even Sabo's from OP04. That's from the first year of the game, right? Because they release a new set every 3 months. So there's 4 sets a year. So set 1 through 4, that's the first year of the game. So anything back then, watch the prices, guys. Watch the prices on these cards. They move a lot. Okay, we're not going to look these up over... Actually, I am kind of curious. I get curious with these. I want to see. Let me see. So Linlin for OP03. Let's see how this one is. Japanese version. €6. I would definitely snag these now if you haven't already got yours over there. And then let me see the Linlin from ST07. Okay. 4 to €5. I would snag... Oh, excuse me. Those are Japanese prices. Around €7. 7 to 750, I'd snag those as well, guys. I'd just get it over with. That's my logic on it, unless you just don't need the card. Last but not least, we got Katakuri plummeting in price, falling off a cliff in price. Looks incredible, guys. Down to under $20. This card is starting to become under $20, and not even talking about the Japanese versions, of course. But look at this. Well, about $21, guys. Just absolutely awesome. Keep your eye on this. And remember, guys, the PRB sets aren't even out yet. So that should drive the price down even more. Even though, yes, the PRB 01 packs have been in the starter decks, the actual PRB 01 release is not till November 8th. So literally in 1 week. I'm recording this on 11/1. It will be out on 11/8. So it is coming out in exactly 1 week. That should be awesome. And it should drop the prices down even further on some of these cards. Okay, we're done. We're done with that. Let's go ahead and check out the prices of some of these decks, guys. I'm just going to... So we're over on LimitlessTCG.com. And we're on the OnePiece.LimitlessTCG.com part where it's the One Piece. Because if you go to Limitless, I think that the front page is just for a bunch of different TCGs. But then you go under One Piece, then let me just walk you guys through it real quick. So if you go to, let's just go through the whole process, guys. If you go to Limitless, and I'll have this linked in the comment section. If you go to Limitless TCG, this is what it looks like. And notice it's all over the place. Like we've got some Pokemon. Here's a One Piece on the side. I don't know. Maybe it is mainly just Pokemon. But you click on One Piece, and here we go. Here's where we are. Yours will probably look like this, but I have mine on dark mode because I usually put dark mode on most of my websites if it's an option. And then you click on decks right here. You guys see this at the top middle, decks. And here we go. These are all like the top decks in the format. So first we're going to check out Lucci. And guys, what we're going to do is just look at the highest placing most recent list, and we're going to look at the price of that list. So here we go. This was let's do this second place list, even though there's a 10th place list here. Let's go to this guy, Javier Ortiz, OP08, second place. Let's see how much this deck's running for. Look at that, guys. You can buy it on TCG Player by clicking that link there, and it's going for about $243 for every single card. And this is definitely considered one of the best decks in the game right now, and going into OP09. So not only is it really, really strong in OP08.5, it's also incredibly strong in OP09, and it doesn't get a lot of support from OP09, guys. I can't remember. No, I don't think it gets any, because a majority of the OP09 stuff is actually Blackbeard Pirates, Blackbeard Pirates. So, I know that's a little pricey for some people, but again, like I said, this is considered basically the best deck in the format by most people's standards, or at least in that top conversation. Okay, so there's Lucci. Let's go ahead and hop over to Black Yellow Luffy. I think this one's going to be slightly more expensive. Okay, Jonas with another win. Grats to Jonas, man. Very good stuff here. First place, Black Yellow. I almost said Black Yellow Linlin. I almost said Black Yellow Linlin. No, Black Yellow Luffy. Okay, and this one's only $210, which I know some people are like, only? It's like, yeah, but guys, this deck for a while was like outrageously expensive because Sabo, or whoops, not that one, Sabo's going up in price. Kuzan used to be way more expensive. Borsalino as well, but it looks like they're not, it looks like Jonas isn't even running Borsalino, which is really cool. Let's just run through the list real quick. Garp, Flampe, Makino, Hiyori. Let me click on Hiyori real quick. Okay, now this has gone down, way down in price. This card used to be around like the $10, $15 mark when it first came out, down to $1.50 USD, down to 234 euros. Or 234 euro. Very good. Sabo, this is just the small one. This one's super cheap. Yeah, the same with this one. Now, running 4 Kuzans, so this price might go down even further soon, guys, in about 1 week. Kuzan will be reprinted, and I believe, I'm going to check real quick, guys. I think there's a really nice new alt art coming out for, there is. Okay, let me bring this over. Hang on, guys, hang on. All right, check this out, guys. I should have been doing this more throughout the video, but check out this awesome new alt art coming out in the PRB 01 set in 1 week. Looks great. Looks incredible. It gives me the Frozen vibe a little bit, but I'm here for it. It's fine. It looks good. It looks great. But they will be reprinting this one as well, and I absolutely love this art. This is one of the cards. Okay, story time with the VV Theory. When I first got to the game, OP02 was just coming. I think it had just come out. I think it might have even been about halfway through OP02. And guys, when I first got into the game, the admirals are what sold me on the game. I walked by One Piece and thought, not getting into that. And then, but it was, how do I say this? I was looking for something to play with my son, something to get us out of the house. And my son's favorite anime at the time, I don't know what it is anymore. It's probably still One Piece to some extent, but who knows what the new kids are watching these days, if it's Demon Slayer and all these other new ones. But anyway, One Piece, he was real big on One Piece. And I'm like, I just don't like the art for this game. I'm not a really big fan. I had never even seen One Piece. Okay, and then I saw the Admiral. So like, yeah, this is the new set coming out. So I saw the Kuzan. I saw the where is Sakazuki? Whoops, that's not how you spell it. Saka. It should come up even though we're under this PRB. Oh, look at this new art. I don't think I saw this. This come out in PRB 01 as well. And I saw this Sakazuki, and I saw the Borsalino. Yeah, Borsalino. And I was sold. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm actually going to play because of this. And back then, guys, these cards were super cheap, and the deck was horrible. The deck that it came in, or that you were probably going to run it in, I guess you could run it with Smoker, but this is the deck that it came in, guys. Look how... Does anyone remember this? Let me remove that. Does anyone remember this leader? Guys, this leader was so bad. Pause and read it. He's got, I know it's in Japanese on the left, but it's in English over here on the right. Pause and read it. This leader, you've probably never even seen it if you're a new player because it was so bad, but I didn't care. I was like, dude, this looks so awesome. But yeah, anyway, just a little bit of a trip down memory lane there with the VV theory for a little bit of story time. Okay, give me 1 second to get set back up. Okay, so anyway, I don't know how we went down that track right there, guys, but Kuzan is going down in price, and that should drive the price down of this deck even further once the new cards come out in PRB 01 next week. Sabo, everyone's concerned about this card, so we do hope this goes down in price. Gecko Moria should also go down in price. And the same thing with, well, it looks like Ice Age is already really cheap on here, so really good stuff. Okay, so Black Yellow Luffy, and again, big grats to Jonas, you know. He won Nationals last year. I'm pretty sure that's what it was last year that he won, and then represented the U.S. at Worlds, along with 1 or 2 other players. I can't remember exactly. I know I'm horrible about that stuff, guys. Bonnie. Okay, so Bonnie, I think this deck is like a little expensive, like surprisingly. Let's check out this. This one's a little more recent. This October 26th. Well, this one's the 19th, and it's 6th. We'll check out the 7th place one. So Jeffrey Lee, their Bonnie list right here. Actually around $150, guys. That's really not that bad, and this is a very, very strong deck, and the biggest price on here is the Cavendish that we've already talked about. Hopefully this goes down in price, and if you're trying to get into Bonnie and you didn't know how expensive it was, about $156, US. So I would definitely hop on that when you can. Rosinante, interesting. They are running the Rosinante, so this actually increases the price a little bit as well. So if you went down to 2 of these and maybe up a Basil Hawkins, you could help fix the price a little bit there if you're trying to make it a little more budget. Oh, Hody Jones, forgot to look at this card. Let me look at this card real quick. About €2, about $3 US, so not too bad at all. Okay, now back to where we were. Nami, look at this, guys. It is the number 5 deck right now on Limitless for like how many games it's been getting in. Is there like a first place list on here from here's a excuse me. Let me go up to the top because this was from, actually it's from October 12th. We're going to check out Javier Caro's list. This is a first place list from OP08 from October 12th. So literally about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Okay. Under $45, guys. That is the thing I love the most about Nami. It's not my favorite deck. Like, it's not exactly my playstyle. I don't have any problems with it, but I love how cheap this deck is. And let's just be honest, guys. If they had reprinted this card in PRB 01, this deck would probably be like $35. Like, that would just be insane. That's so awesome. I absolutely love that. Let's keep this game cheap, guys. Keep the game cheap so more and more players can get into it, and then just make more alt-arts that are super rare for the collectors. Okay, so we just got done with Nami. Let's check out ST14 Luffy. Here's the first place list from October 19th from Sahao Wong. Not sure if I said that correctly. Sorry if I butchered it. Now, this is an extremely expensive list because of the Brooks. If you take off the Brook price, I'm not saying you can play the deck without Brook. Brook is very important in this list, and so are the Sabos. But Brook, if you take that $115 off, all of a sudden, this is like a $200 list, which is still expensive, but it's way more reasonable. It's just this card, guys. This card, I'm really hoping this is the next on their to-do list when it comes to reprints. This card needs to be reprinted, just straight up. Okay, let me speed it up, guys. We're approaching an hour, and I still have a game to go through on the sim. Borsalino, yep. Sabo's still a little expensive, and Gecko should be going down in price. Okay, so that was ST14 Luffy. We'll just go through 10 of these here. Actually, we have to go to Doflamingo. So hang on 1 second. Okay, so there's more. So we did Luffy. Let's go down to Enel next. Now, remember, guys, one thing that made this list, we're going to check out, let's check out this guy, Edgar Jared Cabanas Gonzalez, or Sangoro. This was more recent. No, this one says this, oh, September 28th. Excuse me. We will check out the Sangoro list that got third more recently on the 26th. down to $225. Now, some people might be like, down to $225? Well, guys, remember, this card right here, Katakuri, used to be like $70 a card. It used to be like $60 a card. And so seeing it down to this price is incredible. Excuse me. Same thing with Portgosti Ace. This card used to be like the $30, $40 or the $25, $30 range. So this deck used to be like $100 to $200 more than what it is now. So seeing it down to the $225 mark and going down further, guys, remember, Katakuri's down to about $20 a card. And that's before PRB 01 has officially hit in the West. So this should go down even further very soon, hopefully very soon. Okay, let's pick it up. Here we go. Let me keep going, guys. And now, Gecko Moria has not been seeing a lot of play, but we will check out this. Let's look at this. No, we'll check out 14th place. No, this was. We'll check out the October list. OP08 18th. Player's name is Deuce. Let's see what they got for the list here. About $175 list. The most expensive card being the Brooks and the Gecko Moria, which should be going down in price. So literally, Brook alone is keeping this deck over $100. Very annoying, very frustrating, but, you know, it is what it is, guys. Nothing we can do about that. Okay, so Enel, Moria. Let's check out Purple Luffy. A bunch of different cards in here at the top. I don't think they're running this anymore, the page one and this other one. But let's check out this second place list from Curly. Okay, in OP08. $150 list, guys. Very, very nice. And it is running the ulti combo, guys. It is still running a lot of the Animal Kingdom Pirate stuff. Page 1, ulti, Scratchman of Pooh. Very nice. Trafalgar Law. Okay, I'm just kind of reading through this. So Magellan has gone up in price. I missed this. I did not cover this. We're going to cover it now. $13. $13 USD and about €7. Guys, if you're in Europe, snag this. I'd snag this right now if you don't already have them and you're trying to play purple in the future. US up to $14. Hey, like I said, wishful thinking. If PRB 02 ever comes out, hopefully this card will be in there. That would be really nice. But really good stuff here. The art does look really cool on this card, I have to say. But this is a very powerful card, guys. And it looks like there's no signs of Purple Luffy slowing down, and they'll probably be swapping to this card. Queen should be going down in price a little bit more when the PRB 01 actually hits over here in the West. And the same thing with, well, Sanji, actually, this one, like we already said, this one's a little expensive, but not too bad. But we got to keep an eye on Magellan, guys. We got to keep an eye on that. Right around $150, though, really strong for a very top, very high-level deck list. I will say, one more thing I will say on Purple Luffy. I think there are a lot of variations in this build. Like, some are probably going to run Charlotte Linlin, and everything's going to swap up when we get to OP09, I feel like, in the West, because then I think we're going to start seeing a lot of stuff all over the place, like a lot of different new Straw Hat shenanigans. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it, though. Okay. All right. We'll keep an eye on it in general, not though. I don't know what I'm talking about. Reiju. All right, here we go. One of my absolute favorites, because here's why, guys. Let's check out. Okay, this list here. October 26th, OP08, 8th place, Edux 13. Let's check out this list. Oh, $24. That's not a typo. That's not a like, oh, it must have forgot to calculate one of these cards. No, guys, this deck is $25 now. Like, you click on this button right here and you buy a top tier deck for $25. If it's not absolute at the very highest level top tier, it's at least tier 1.5 or tier 2 at the bare minimum. Depends on how you do your tier system, of course. But guys, this deck is, I've been bragging about this deck for so long. I think it is the absolute best budget list you can get your hands on, next to Nami. Nami and Reiju, if you're trying to be budget, one's blue, like Nami's like a blue deck. Reiju's actually a purple deck, guys, because watch this. Look at this. Purple, purple, purple. And then all of these are purple except Pudding, if they're running Pudding. They are. They're running a single blue card in this entire deck list, guys, unless I missed one. No, yeah. So this is pretty much a 4-life purple leader, and Nami's basically a 5-life blue leader. So for the cheapest decks in the game, these are them. Reiju and Nami. It just does not get any cheaper currently. Okay, Zoro, we're going to skip on. Sorry, guys. It's just not being represented enough. We have to talk about this real quick. Okay, October 20th. So this will not be a 100% accurate list because they do not have the new Trafalgar Law or the BOA. So sorry, guys, we are actually going to skip out on this for now. We have to wait for the newest lists that have the new ST cards. That was also, oh, real quick, that's probably what it was with this list right here that we saw. Yeah, from October 26th. I don't think this had the legal cards in it for starter deck number 18. So that's probably why we're not seeing some of the new Straw Hat cards in the Purple Luffy deck. Okay, that's it, guys. We are going to wrap up this portion with that. I just want to see if there's any of them that I missed down here that I really wanted to go over. No, that should be fine. That's enough. Okay, so we're done with this part of the video, guys. We're going to go ahead and check out a game on the sim to wrap up the video with, and we'll check out the deck list afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and put on the volume's off. Speed is on 2x. I'm going to hit play, guys, so we can get right into this game because this video is starting to run a little long. So here we go. And you guys know I don't mind. I'm just trying to do it for you guys. I'm trying to be considerate to you guys. Okay, so we got a game of Purple-Black King versus Purple Kaido. They're going to swing in for 5. I'm going to counter out fairly aggressively because I have no way to gain life. Actually, I might be running the 9-cost Linland. I don't remember. But they can trash my life like they just did. They did it a little bit early because they had Black Maria out. And it's like, okay, well, you know, that card is very strong. But at the same time, they're down to 1 Dawn. And if they want to use their effect again next turn, they're going to lose their Dawn again. They're going to play out Onigashima. They did not ramp a Dawn this time with... Did they do that wrong? No, okay, so I'm up to 6 Dawn. Yeah, they'd have gone back down to 4 because I was at 4 at the time. Okay, so they ramp a Dawn with the Gum Gum Jet Gatling, and we're going to pop the Black Maria with the Who's Who. And now, you know, they've done a pretty good job as far as like going into the late game here. This is a little bit scary for me at this point in the game. Okay, let's see what we do here. I'm almost at the point where I can play out the 10-cost Kaido. So I think just kind of bunkering up behind a Rebecca here would be pretty solid. So we'll swing for 7. We'll swing for 7. We'll play out the Rebecca, getting the Brook, just cheating it out. We're not going to be able to pop anything. Not a big deal. We just want bodies on the board. And I really want them to overcommit this turn. I would really like for my opponent to overcommit here because I'd like to just completely clear their board. Now, I don't know if it's time to pull the trigger yet on this board. I think I should let it go one more time. Okay, it looks like I'm just going to swing 5, and pop the board. So hear me out real quick. I think that was a little bit of a play mistake. I actually think I should have tried one more turn to do what I was doing by playing out the Rebecca, getting out a, the guy from the trash, the Brook from the trash again, and just kind of attack in, let him take a little bit of my life, and let him get a few more cards on the board. Then, next turn, I think I should have popped it. But hey, this is fine too. This does give me the initiative. And yeah, now it's my opponent's turn. Their board's gone. They're going to use a Searcher here. They only had 3 cards in hand, you know, so here we go. They play out the Kaido. You can't do anything with that. Okay, swing for 5. I am going to take the Kaido hit, so I should counter out of that when I do. Swing for 10. We get a Sabo. Very nice. Sabo is very, very nice here. We're going to swing 12 into 10, and it goes away. Okay, we'll take that. Play out the Black Maria. We'll ramp back up here. Use that effect. And then I think, unfortunately, I am going to go down in Dawn because he was not at 10 Dawn either. Excuse me. But now I do have this Black Maria on the board, so I'm going to be able to do a lot with that. I think, honestly, they probably should... let me pause real quick. They probably should have, like, taken one of my lives away with their leader effect, just so I couldn't Black Maria to get back up to 10 doing my entire turn. Not a big deal, though. That's for sure. Not a big deal either way. Okay, so right here I have to do a little bit of math. I just really don't want to lose at this point, right? That'd be really embarrassing if I lost at this point. So they do end up tapping out. As soon as they saw me play a blocker, they decided, okay, well, I can't even try to go for lethal next turn because I think their entire plan was to play out the 9-cost Kaido and just go for lethal next turn. I'm just going to bunker up. I'm not in any hurry to win this game. I'm literally just trying to lock my opponent down and just get down some blockers like I have here. I was going to block aggressively with my Sabo the next turn, so that way I could go again with Rebecca, grabbing back Sabo, playing it again, just kind of creating that Sabo Rebecca loop and just bullying the board with a 10-cost 12k while making my characters un-KOable at the same time. So right there, they weren't going to be able to stabilize because if they could have played out Kaido and popped my board, you know, maybe cracked into my my 4-cost, what's his name, the, I can't remember, Boncray Bentham, then they could have played out the Kaido because they could have popped it. However, now they can't even play out the Kaido because guess what happens? If they play it out, I now have a 10,000 power attack and a 12,000 power attack. So it just becomes too much because they can't pop it because of the Sabo effect. Okay, so that was that. That was fun, guys. That's a Purple Black King's just a really fun deck to play. Here's the list I was running. I was not running any of the 9-cost Linlands. I was running only 2 Gecko Morias because it's just... I only have so many plays I can do with it with this deck. You know, I can snag back, I don't know, if it's like late in the game, maybe I can snag back this guy to annoy my opponent. You know, kind of threaten them. Like, hey, if you want to play out a big character, like a 10-cost Linland or a 10-cost Kaido, or not 10 cost Kaido, 10 cost Doflamingo, well, I can match his power. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a threat in that way, and it can technically ramp it on. If I played this out, lost it, went back up to 8 Dawn, played this out, ramp up to 9, have an extra Dawn for the turn, there's a few little tricks you could probably do with that. Or I could always just snag back Rebecca, could snag back a Black Maria or a Reiju. It really just depends on the situation. And then on top of that, I can always grab back the Helmeppo, Rebecca, Brooke combo if needed. Okay, that's it. I forgot to move my face for all that, guys. Hopefully y'all were able to see what I was talking about. I'll just go over each one. You can pause and read them if you don't know what they do. But this list, I think, is good with this character. I actually think King is decent, especially if you're playing the 10 cost 12k Kaido on the board here. That just pops the entire board. Reiju might be a little much. I don't know if we actually need this. Black Maria, I think we can even take out these 2 Reijus and just go up to 4 Black Marias. That's probably a decent option. Because remember, guys, we can draw cards with our leader. So this card might not be needed. Now, Queen, I think, is needed because not only is it draw 2 trash 1, it's a blocker, and it does have Dawn -1, so I feel like we get the full value from our turns. Brooke, very solid. Brooke is just that card right now, guys. It's just that card. 4 Surus, 2 Sabos, 3 Rebecca, 2 Gecko Moria, 4 Queen, 3 Jack. This card is incredible, and of course, it's Animal Kingdom Pirate searchable, so I have this Queen to search it up. Who's Who, 2k counter and searchable. Helmeppo is literally just 1k counter in hand, so I can bring it back later with Gecko Moria. And then last but not least, Onigashima, the stage. Really, really good. All right, we're done. Hope you all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Let me get the playmat screen on here. Thank you to everybody who supports the channel, guys. If you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, whatever you're doing, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody who bought a playmat. I hope you guys are enjoying that. And then, of course, last but not least, the patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. If you're thinking about buying cards on TCG Player, I will have an affiliate link in the comments section for you to just click on and you just buy what you want to on there. Nothing changes for you. It just helps me out. It helps me out a little bit, like on the side, pretty much. Okay? All right, guys, that's it. Hope you all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, peace.